Hey, how you doing? My name is Coach Garrett Smoot, and welcome to Smoot Talk. And today we'll be talking about 4 signs it's time to let them go. 4 signs it's time to let them go. And the reason why I'm making this video is because someone left a comment in one of my videos just asking about how did I know when it was time to let go of my marriage. And so I decided to make a video. So, first of all, I want to say that everything that all the signs that I am listing, I did. Okay, so this is not something I went and found on ChatGPT or something I stole off another video. No, all of my videos are things that I did in my own relationships, period. So with this right here, these are 4 signs when I knew it was time for me to let go of my marriage and also of another relationship that I was in where I was engaged. So number one, the number one sign was that there was no peace, there was no joy, there was no happiness. When I would go to work and then come back home, there was no peace, there was no joy. Okay. Now, of course, if you're depressed and you have a issue with depression, then of course you need to seek professional help concerning that. But this right here was more about with that person, they didn't make me happy anymore. Okay. And of course, a person cannot make you happy. Of course, happiness really is supposed to come from inside and, you know, emanate and flood the place, right? But at the end of the day, with whoever you're with, you're supposed to have some type of joy, some type of happiness. Of course, that spouse or that boyfriend or girlfriend or fiance is not supposed to be your in all when it comes to your happiness. Okay, because what if they leave or what if they pass? Then what? You have no more happiness? No. So there's a level of happiness that's supposed to come internally, right? But with the person that you're with, there's supposed to be some type of joy, some type of happiness, some type of peace that you're supposed to get from your person. And it just got to a point where I would come home and there was no peace. I would look at her and be like, why am I with this person? Always arguing. There's always something going on. There's always some type of tension, like I'm walking on eggshells. I got to walk on eggshells to have a conversation with you. It just got to a point. And I'm not talking about just off of one argument. I'm talking about this one. This went on for years. So of course, I don't want somebody watching this and thinking, "Oh, okay, after one argument, and they feel like there's no peace for a couple of days. No, it's time to leave." No, with this specific situation, I was in a 14-year marriage, and especially the last couple of years, the last 3 years. Oh, it was no peace, no joy, no nothing. When I get more peace being with my friends, of course, in a long term relationship or in a relationship, you're supposed to have times where you're with your friends. You're supposed to have times when you're with your family, and then you're supposed to come back together with that person. But if my main way of having peace was me looking forward to being with my friends, or me looking forward to going on a vacation out of state to go see my family, and that was the only way that I felt any type of joy, it was time to go. It was time to go. And she the same way. I saw her when she would laugh and be joyous and have more time with her friends. And that wasn't happening with me. So at the end of the day, I mean, if you're with your person and there is no joy, there is no peace, there is no laughter, and I'm talking about an extended amount of time, months, no joy, no peace. Your joy comes from outside people and not that person. That's a sign. That's a sign you might need to go ahead and let this go. Number two, no trust. No trust. Every time you're going out the door, I'm worrying about where you're at. Me going to work, the whole time at work, I can't concentrate on my job because I'm worried about who you're with. Every time I'm with you and you've got your phone down, you've got your phone isn't up like this. Your phone is always down. Always down. And then when you get a phone call, you hurry up and leave, or you hurry up. It's a problem. It's a problem. I went through it myself. Okay? I went through it myself. So when there's no trust, No trust when I don't believe anything you're saying anymore, or everything you say to me. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, right. It's time to go. Because without trust, you don't have anything. Okay. At the end of the day, I don't care how good a lot of people make their relationships out to be in public. But in the inside, if you don't have any type of trust in that person, you don't have anything. All you have is assets. So number two, trust. When there's no trust, when I don't trust you anymore, it's time to get up out of there. And with my marriage, it just got to a point. I was like, I can't trust this. I don't trust this woman anymore. I don't trust a lick of what she's saying. I done caught you in this. I done caught you in that. I'm tired. I'm just tired. Okay, I'm tired. So no trust. Number three, you've exhausted all of your resources. You've exhausted all of your resources. What do you mean? Let me explain it to you. You've exhausted all your resources, meaning what? Let's do date nights. Date nights aren't fun anymore. Or they're constantly coming up with excuses on why they have to cancel date night. So date night's not being fun anymore. When you do a date night and you're trying to watch a movie, they want to argue with you about, oh, I had one relationship. Let me just pause real quick. I had one relationship where this one red flag would be her and I would do a date night, right, at the house. So we fix a couple of drinks, get some nice food or order some takeout, watching a movie. The movie ain't on 10 minutes. Let a beautiful woman come on. She's not even naked. She doesn't have to be naked. This happened about 5 or 6 different times to where I had to stop watching movies for date night. Let a beautiful woman or an attractive woman, it doesn't matter what race she is, okay? Let her walk on the screen. You know what she would ask me? Oh, do you think she's attractive? And of course I would say, well, she looks like, of course I'm not going to say how I really feel. So I would say, yeah, she look all right. She was like, no, no, no. I see the way you're looking at her. You think she's attractive. What are you talking about? I'm watching the movie the same way you're watching. I'm waiting. They got the crazy suspense music on. I'm thinking she's about to get stabbed. What do you mean the way I'm looking at her? And it would turn into an argument to where I would have to just turn the movie off. The movie ain't been on 15 minutes. And this happened about 6 different times to the point where I finally told her, I can't look at movies anymore on Friday nights with you. Why? Because of your insecurities. At nights, we couldn't do it anymore. Constantly getting into arguments over imaginary figures. Vacations. You try to go on a vacation, you constantly arguing, no peace. You thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe we need to get away from the kids, or maybe we need to just go to a cabin somewhere, go to the beach. But just no peace at the cabin, no peace at the beach, constant bickering, I'm being constantly accused of whatever, something you made up in your mind. We've exhausted resources. What's another resource? Seeking professional help for your relationship. So going to a spiritual leader or going to a therapist, or a marriage counselor or a relationship counselor to talk about the relationship. And when you're in, for those of you who know who's been in marriage counseling or relationship counseling, I've been in countless sessions, whether I was getting relationship counseling or I was giving it. But with me receiving it, especially with your significant other, when it's nothing but arguing, and then at the end of the session, the counselor or the therapist or the pastor tells you, you know what, I think you guys would be best apart. That's a sign you need to heed, because in the 14-year marriage that I was in, I had countless marriage counseling through spiritual leaders or licensed marriage counselors, right? Or even social workers. And it would always end up turning into a big argument. She's saying this, I'm saying that. I'm saying you're a liar. You're saying I'm a liar. You don't want to be honest with what you did. I'm being perfectly honest with what I did because it, you know, you brought me here anyway, so there's no point in me lying. And when the counselor at the end says, I think it's best for you guys to split, that's a sign. But what did I do? I didn't heed the sign. I stayed. And the end of my marriage was, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Okay. When you see a person that at one time you loved, when you see a person that you gave up everything for, went against your family for, I was in an interracial marriage. So I'm black. She is Korean. We have, 3 beautiful Blasian children. But I turned my back on my family to be with her. She turned her back on her family to be with me. And all of these things happen. Of course, the whole marriage wasn't horrible, but when you start seeing a person change right in front of you into somebody you don't even know or recognize anymore, and then at the end, when this person starts doing things that you're thinking like, wow, am I a criminal or something? I mean, did I murder somebody in your family? Why are you treating me like this? That's when you start back thinking. I would start back thinking like, damn, I should have listened to that pastor. Damn, I should have heeded what that therapist said and got out sooner. But now we have years and years where then you got kids in the mix. So all I'm saying is, of course, you've got your own brain that God gave you, but heed spiritual counsel and heed professional counsel from, marriage therapists, social workers, psychologists, different people, who do this as a living, pastors, your spiritual, whoever may be, people who counsel people for a living. Heed their advice, man. I did plenty of times. I didn't want to hear what they were saying, you know. But they all kept saying in that specific case, you guys really need to end this marriage, basically. And I didn't heed it. And it ended up costing me a lot of money getting out of that marriage, and a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, watching my kids suffer. And it was just bad. We're on good terms now. You understand what I'm saying? But I wish it would have been done sooner when they were younger. But anyways, so when you've exhausted all of your resources for reconciliation, vacations, date nights, counseling, all of that, that's the sign you might want to go ahead and let this go. The last one, number 4, and a marriage counselor told me this, and she said, write a list of all the times you felt disrespected by that person. Right. So write down a list of from day one, if you can remember the first time you have been disrespected by that person, right, that you love. Write down a list of all the times they disrespected you that you can remember, right? All the times, whether they might have hit you, whether they might have disrespected you in public, they might have called you out of your name, they might have embarrassed you, they might have just, I don't know. So I wrote down at least 20 things. Just wrote down. I know, of course, people saying, dang, if you got at least 20 things, that should have been a red flag anyway. But I wrote down about 20 things, right? And after you read it, after I wrote them down, she had me read them out loud. So I read them out loud, and she told me, she said, ask yourself now, after you read those things out loud, because I didn't do it in the session, I did it when I got home. But she said, ask yourself, when you read those times that you felt disrespected or abused or misused, when you read those, does love look like that? And does love feel like that? Did you feel loved? And did it look like love? And when I did that exercise about 2 times, right? Towards the end of the marriage. Did it about 2 times. I finally did it. And because I got so low. So I said, well, let me just do it. And I finally did it. And I really, it's something about when you write something down on paper and then you read it to yourself. And then you realize this isn't some fictional book or some fairy tale I'm reading. This is my life. And I started to realize that, oh, this isn't love. No, I shouldn't be made to feel like I'm some sick and shut in person that needs to be pushed in the corner when her friends come around, her family comes around. No, I shouldn't be yelled at or hit. No, I shouldn't be laughed at and mocked. No, I shouldn't be looked at as if I'm less than because I might not have the graduate degree that she has and I still only have a back. I shouldn't. And all these things just started, going through my mind. And there's something about when you read those things out loud, it's something, man, that happens to the spirit and the mind to where you start seeing, no, I don't deserve this. And no, I don't need this. I deserve better. And I started getting the strength to say, you know what? I'm getting out of this. And I even started thinking, would I want my sons to marry somebody like this? Or would I want my daughter to marry or be in a relationship with somebody like this? And reading those things, number one, I was embarrassed because I said, wow, I've let this go on for so long. But number two, I really had to give myself compassion and empathize with myself and just have compassion on myself and forgive myself for staying in something for so long. I mean, you do it because you're hoping, well, the longer I stay with this person, they'll change. The longer that I stay with this person, they'll change. But they don't. They actually get worse. And they actually look at you like you're a fool. They actually look at you like you're a fool. So number one, no peace, no joy, around constant arguing, constant bickering. That's a red flag. That's a sign. Number two, no trust. Every time you walk out the door, I'm thinking that you're with somebody else. Every time I leave to go to work, I'm thinking you're with somebody else because I've caught you before. Okay, I'm not talking about in my situation. You done got caught. So I'm with other people. I'm not talking about if you're with somebody who has constant. Well, if you're with somebody who has constant insecurities and that's constantly in their mind, had a relationship like that, that's a red flag to go. But if there's no trust, you can't trust in that person, it's time to go. Or if that person is constantly accusing you or something that doesn't trust you, that's a red flag. And you've done nothing wrong, that's a red flag. Also, number three, you exhausted all your resources trying to do date nights, trying to go on vacation, seeking professional help, spiritual leaders or therapists or marriage counselors, relationship counselors. You've exhausted all of that. And they've told you it's time to go. Pay attention. And also, number four, writing that list down of the times you've been disrespected and reading that out loud. Read it out about once or twice. That second time when I read it and when I read it and I sat back on that couch and thought about it and really thought about it, that's the thing that gave me the courage to say, yeah, it's time for me to get out of this relationship. And every time I would second guess myself, I pull that piece of paper back out. Because you're going to start, when it's time to go, and it's time to put those feet to the pavement and start filing for separation or filing for divorce or packing your bags up and leaving, you're going to start having those second thoughts. And a way to kind of silence those thoughts, I picked that piece of paper back up and I said, I deserve better than this. I deserve this. I'm too fine to be stuck in something like this. That's why you got to pump yourself up. I started saying there's too many women out here who want to have a taste of this. It's too many women that I'm keeping back from this. It's too many women who deserve to have a good man in their life. You understand what I'm saying? So write down on that piece of paper. It's something about when you write it down and you read it, man, it does something to you. You feel me? That was the battery in my backpack, the battery in my back that I needed to go and do what I needed to do to get out of that situation. And I feel better now. I look better now. I'm healthier. My mental health is way more better. I mean, it's true. It's true. I did it. And you can do it too. You can do it too. You deserve better. I don't know where you are in your situation right now, where you are in your life. But if you're looking at this and these signs meet your situation, it might be time to leave. Might be time to leave, but most definitely always seek professional help. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a spiritual leader, you have a counselor, social worker, somebody you can talk to. There's plenty of apps that they've got where you can get in touch with a marriage counselor or a therapist. Seek professional help also. If you're being abused, especially physically, get up out of there anyway. Okay, it's time to go anyway. I hope these four signs, you looking at that video, I hope it strengthens you. I hope it helps you. And I hope it most definitely gives you some type of confirmation in your relationship. And so I appreciate everybody watching. Like, subscribe, write down some comments, get in the comment section and let me know, some of these things that happen in your relationship, or let me know some of the things that you might have done to get out of your relationship. But I appreciate everybody watching, man. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.